Okay, I'm audible. Rain effect, is it? Yeah. Okay. Over the web, am I audible? Yeah. Yeah. Good morning. So the same architecture, whatever I drawn yesterday. Yeah. So this is Nginx. Let me put Tomcat here. You can put it with any app server. I'm just putting Tomcat, but you can put JBoss, WebSphere, whatever that makes sense to you. Okay. And this is DB. And when it comes to the area, all of this in AWS. So for the people who don't have Azure accounts, for you, all the four are in AWS. Okay. So for this, I'll be using a service which is called as RDS, which is a database service. And these two are simple EC2 machines. Okay. Basically, the approach which I'm going to take over here is I am not going. Basically, there are two ways of realizing this. One is from the Packer, build the Tomcat image and use it. Build the Tomcat image and then use it. Otherwise, take a Ubuntu machine and then install Tomcat on your own. Whatever that makes sense. All right. There is nothing wrong in any approach. Okay. But Packer's imaging, creating the image from Packer is a more sensible way. Okay. I have told the cases also when you do this and when you don't do that. Right. So whenever you don't need this architecture many times, probably you might do from Terraform itself. But if this is a ever demand, always you have to give the same images, then there is no point in basically provisioning every time. Create a Packer image and go ahead with that. Right. So whatever that makes sense to you. Fine. So this is my approach. And for this, I want to realize, okay. And to realize this, initially we'll start with the same Terraform which we know. Okay. Slowly we'll be turning our attention to something called as modules. Right. And then at the last, by end of tomorrow's class, we'll be finishing this backend. Okay. Backend is today I'll be working from my system. So the only person who is responsible for creating this architecture is me. Okay. Tomorrow's my use case is exactly the same scenario, but the problem is there are 4 or 5 DevOps engineers who sit at different locations, and all the 4 or 5 DevOps engineers want to have the same environment. So any one should create it, not 4. If 4 people do it from their systems, it means it will create 4 environments, but your company wants only one. Right. So how can you ensure that basically state is maintained at some other place rather than your local folder? That is the last concept of Terraform which we are going to discuss. Did we understood? Today I'm going to realize this. Okay. And the change which I will do after this is basically one engineer rather than one engineer, it would be multiple engineers who will be using the same stuff. Shall we get started? Yes. So okay. Okay, so this is what I want to do. Right now, first let me log in into my AWS account. For the people who are from only cloud backgrounds, you should be able to create an auto scaling approach from Terraform, not two stuffs. You should be able to configure something called as auto scaling. Okay, so for the people who don't know it, I'm not worried, but for the people who have learned it, I am doing this, but I want you to do auto scaling with elastic load balancer in front of it. All right, yeah. So no, I don't have a Tomcat image. Fine, let me go ahead and do the usual stat. So E drive, a square zone, Terraform zone. All right, okay. I'm calling it as 3 tier. Okay, and then I'll be changing it. This is what I'd be using. I'm opening this part in a different solution because I want to also, that would be reality for you. So I'm disabling all the other extensions which I have. The only extension which I'd be using in this case is Terraform. Yeah, yeah, looking good. I think Terraform is the only stuff which is remained. Good. Let us go over here, okay, and create a new file. And generally, what would be the name of our new file? Main.tf. Okay, and what initially I'll be focusing on this area. So for this area, what is the provider? This is an Azure for me. So what is the provider here? AWS. So let me go ahead and start with provider. My provider is simple, and in this I have to enter some stuff. So I'll not be wasting time. I'll also be opening the previous solution so that we can copy paste some of the things which we obviously know it. Main.tf. All right. Why not all of this? Okay. Since I have three variables which I have copy pasted, I have to create one more file. Okay, you can write variables in the same file, but I would prefer writing them on a different file. So I'm creating one more file over here, which I would call it as variables.tf. And even in that case, I want to save time. So 3 copied. Yes, done. So our provider is ready. Next, look at this architecture. What are the different services which I'm looking out at? I'm looking out at two services which I call as EC2 and RDS. All right. So let me see what I can do. Okay. First, let me start with something which we know, EC2. All right. So for EC2, what is that we would be looking at? Terraform, resource, AWS underscore instance. Okay. So these are the different things which I need to follow. All right. So even this, I'm going to do the same thing what I've done earlier. Okay. But here I have something in addition apart from this. Okay. First thing is I've not created the security group yet. All right. So let me copy paste the security group from the same stuff yesterday, whatever I've done. So till here it is no different. It is exactly whatever we have done yesterday. All right. So yeah, if it is exact, I need the exact variables also. All right. Fine. Everything done. So I'm using exactly the same file whatever I've used yesterday. But there is one problem here. Okay. When it comes to this, I need to create one more variable. Variable. Okay. I want a variable with the default value. Variable with the default name is VPC ID. Okay. And for the VPC ID, the value is whatever I'm using over here. In your case, you can enter the value. Okay. So now how will I refer this value over here? What is the syntax? Dollar var dot variable name. So what is the variable name which we have? Why it is? So now there is, I don't think so anything which is constant. But if you want to change your security group rules, you can also create a variable for everything there. So for example, from port. So let us assume for Tomcat, you don't want to open all ports, you want to open only 8080 port. So basically create it. But I am not doing that. For you, you can create this as a variable and this as a variable, this as a variable, and this also as a variable. That is your choice. I don't want to do that. All right. So you'll have 4 plus 4, 8 more variables if you want. If you want it to be completely customized. I don't want that. All right. So this I would call it as app server 1. Okay. And my default image is should be the Ubuntu image. So I'll be taking the AMI ID of Ubuntu and let me take 1404. 37. Yes. Okay. So let me go to the variable section. Okay. Image ID, default image ID. In the last class, I've taken something else, but this time I'm taking off Ubuntu 1404. I can write it in the description also. Description. Okay. Ubuntu 14 image. Something like this. All right. Okay. Till here we are good. Now the problem is this will create only Ubuntu image. What is that we wanted in that? Tomcat. Okay. So first thing is we need to install Tomcat on Ubuntu 14. So for that you would have some steps. The steps are sudo apt-get update and sudo apt-get install Tomcat 7. These are the two commands which I want to use. Now the problem is I want to log in inside that machine. If it was Packer, it was simple. But now we have to do it in a different way. We have to do it in a different way. Okay. So Once you have the infrastructure, any step which you do after that, okay, what is that we used to call it in Packer? There is a technical name around it. Provisioning, right? Provisioners is what we used to call, and the concept is provisioning. The same provisioning we also have here. Okay, but here provisioning requires connection object. Here provisioning requires a connection object. So let me go ahead. Okay, and show you a sample, and then based out of it, let us do it. I'm always showing you an existing examples just because it is easier for you to make out whenever you look at the stuff. Okay. Now, provisioner is simple. Is this a very difficult stuff? No. But the problem is you need to create this. Provisioning will not work until and unless you log in into the machine, right? Yes, I want to execute those commands. In the Packer, you are already in there. In the Packer, while you are creating a Packer image, Packer, what it does, it creates a machine, and in that machine, it will be executing the commands. So you are already inside that machine. There is no need for an explicit connection. But what Terraform is doing, Terraform is not getting inside machines. It is just sending AWS commands to do the job, right? So for you to execute any activities, you need to create connection object. And connection object is created something like that. Okay, you need to tell what is the username and where is your PEM file. What is your username and where is your PEM file? Now, let me basically get into this stuff, improvised, and show you the variable, how they enter the values. Where is it? Yes. Private key path. There is a variable which they have mentioned over here. Always remember, you will have secret files. Yesterday also I've looked at one question where people were trying to give full folder path inside the Packer or inside the Terraform. You generally don't do that. You give it always a relative path. What is the difference between relative path to absolute path? Relative is, absolute is full path, C colon test or slash root, all of that. Relative path is, it is relative to where you are right now. So for example, let me launch it over here. Okay, the relative path for me to get into, okay, basically the Packer, the Terraform files which I have written is June 2018 slash whatever it is. Are you seeing this? This is a relative path because this is relative to where you are. In Packer, Terraform, we use relative paths, not absolute paths, even though absolute paths are supported. Let me tell you what is the problem. Let us assume that you are using D drive and you give this script to one of your friend who doesn't have a D drive. Then, so in programming, in configuration management, never use full paths. Use only relative paths. Use only relative paths. So what I would do is, I'll go over here, 3-tier, and I'll create a folder called as keys. Okay, in here I'll be putting my keys. So what is the key which we'll be using? We'll be using terraform.pem, right? So which is in downloads if I'm not wrong. I'll copy the file from here. I'll paste it over here. But remember, I will not check in this file. Into the GitHub, I will not make this available. The reason is GitHub should not contain passwords, or any repository should not contain your passwords. PEM file is equivalent to your password. So it doesn't make sense for us to basically use a password, right? So now let us go over here. And now what is the first thing which I need, which I'm supposed to do over here? Create a connection object, right? So what is a connection object in Terraform? To get inside whatever you have created, you might require some sort of permission, especially for doing provisioning. So for example, you have created a Windows machine. You would create a connection to get inside that Windows machine. You have created the Azure virtual machine. You need to create a connection to get inside that Azure virtual machine, because you are not inside, you are outside. In the case of Packer, we don't have that problem because you are already inside. Okay, because Packer creates machine, it creates security key, it logs in inside the SSH services, and then it creates image. So Packer, there is no need for you to create a connection object. Here, there is a need for connection object. Are we clear on why in Packer it is not necessary, and in Terraform why it is necessary? Yes or no? Yes or no? తెలుసా అందరికీ అయితే? Have you ever Packer debug చేశారా? While you are creating Packer images, did you debug at least? What were the steps? 4 వాయిస్లు వస్తున్నాయి క్లాస్ మొత్తంలో, అంటే మిగతా వాళ్ళు చేయలే. So if you don't do that, I'm okay even if you don't know this. So if you understand the Packer steps, first it creates a security group, it creates a key, and then a security group, and then it creates AWS instance, it waits for the SSH service, it logs in into the SSH service. Okay, now whenever you are executing provision, you are already logged in. If you understand the Packer steps, here it will never do that. Here in Terraform, it is creating the commands to speak with AWS service, not EC2 machine. It speaks with AWS API to get your things done, and it never gets inside your machine. Okay, using Terraform we create AWS machine, done. But the steps here are absolutely different from the steps there, right? So there, whenever you are doing provisioning, you are already inside the machine. Here you are not, right? Have you ever seen this message waiting for SSH service to be up while executing Packer command? Why is that required? Because Packer wants to get inside. Here you give key. In Packer, will you give key? No, because Packer creates its own key, logs in into that machine, and then it will do provisioning. Here we are giving key, which means that you have to tell Terraform how do you want to log in. Those are the two major differences, right? Okay, fine. Now are you clear why in Packer it is not necessary? Because in Packer, the point when you reach provisioning, you are already inside the EC2 machine, so there is no need for you to create an explicit connection object. But here you are not inside, you are from your laptop, you are just giving commands to AWS saying that okay, do this, do that, and all of that. Okay, now the step which you want to do is you want to get inside the EC2 machine which you have created. So for that reason we need to give this connection object, right? Now let us see that steps. Okay, okay, connection is within resource, provisioning is also within resource, it is not outside. That's the first thing, because as a part of creation of this resource, do this activity. ఈ రిసోర్స్ క్రియేట్ చేసే భాగంలో ఇది చేయమంటున్నాం. సో you will be basically creating a connection object, right? And connection will have two important properties. One is user. Okay, user in the case of Ubuntu is Ubuntu, and then we would have the other key, which is, they have done too much of formatting, private key. And private key, you need to tell the path of the private key. You can hard code it, you can say that this is present at some other location or whatever it is. So I will not hard code it, I will go to the variable section, I'll create a variable with empty variable, because I don't want to pass this value, I want to pass this value while creating it. So private key path, all right? Okay, now let me go to the documentation of it. This is where it is. You would have connection for every kind of provider. So basically for the AWS, we are seeing whatever is the section of it. And he says that the private key, whatever he's looking out for the contents of the private key. He's not looking out for the file. వాడికి కావాల్సింది ఏంటి? If you open this PEM file, okay, let me not do this. Cat, this function expects the input which is the contents of this file, not the file. Okay, it is not expecting you a file path. So if it is file path, you could have given the file path, but the problem is it expects content of it. So for that, in Terraform there is a function called as file. If you give file off and then if you just give the path of it inside it, then it will read the contents and give it back to the Terraform. Okay, if it was asking for a path, it would was simple, but it asks for the contents. One way is you copy all of this and paste it in there, but entering this from command line is not possible. Do you think you can enter all of this from command line? No. So that's why what we do is we use one Terraform function which is called as file, which reads this file and passes the content back to it. That's the reason why the syntax is looking something like this. The file of and in the file of function you'll be passing the path, and this will give back basically whatever you want, what are the contents which you want. So this is all quite standard. I'm just showing you an example because no matter if you are working on AWS provision, this step is common. ఇది గుర్తుపెట్టేసుకున్నా వర్కౌట్ అవుతుంది. But let us try to understand. That's why I'm trying to explain. So whenever you are doing AWS provisioning on a EC2 machine, this connection is a common step, and you will always write something like this, right? Okay, so let me go back to here. Done. And what is my variable's name? Private key path. Done. So we have done this. And the last step which I want to do is, and now I want to do provisioning. Once you have executed this connection, you are inside the EC2 machine now. Once you are inside the EC2 machine, then it is provisioning. Okay. The provisioning here, as Terraform, you can use Ansible, you can use Chef, you can use all sorts of tools, but I will be using shell script in the class. I'll be using shell script in the class. So for the people who already know Chef, Ansible, try to use provisioners which are Ansible or Chef, just like what you have did in Packer. Okay, so for me it is provisioner now. Okay, okay, in my case the commands are, first is sudo apt-get update, and then sudo apt-get install Tomcat 7, and remember, don't forget to give -y. We know what is the reason for why we have to give this -y, right? So that's it. This is what it is. Yeah, okay. Now I want the same resource, same stuff for app server 2, so I'll be copying and pasting it. Seems like a nonsense activity, but we'll be covering that with module. Okay, so basically what I will do is I'll just say resource AWS instance, copy paste all of that I'll put it as app server 2. I'm not doing that right now, so you can do it on your own. ఇదే దీన్నే కాపీ పేస్ట్ చేసి యాప్ సర్వర్ 2 అంట. Okay, but I don't want to use that copy paste approach because we will be very soon realizing what is the problem with. Let me put it, it's okay. So if we have a code which is looking nonsense, then only we'll come to know what makes sense. Okay, app server, but it is not looking good, right? You write it once, why do I have to copy and paste it? Can't I reuse it? Okay, so let us put that question still aside. Okay, that question has to be answered. Okay, so now do I have 2 Tomcat machines? Yes. So shall we check? Okay, so one thing which I want to do is I want to go and create the access key and secret key. Yeah, So what are the steps which I have done till now? Write it down. రోజు చూసి రాస్తారు కదా, వాళ్ళు చూడకుండా రాసే ప్రయత్నం చేయండి. Right? What are the steps which I have tried to do till now? Okay, don't write that saying that copy pasted from one. I'm not asking about that, whether what I did to achieve. I'm worrying about my logic. Okay, first Visual Studio Code open చేశారు, ఆ తర్వాత ఇంకో Visual Studio Code open చేశారు, కాపీ పేస్ట్ చేశారు. ఇది కాదు, not this. Right? I want you to write down, if you have to realize this, what are the steps, logical steps which you follow. So if you have remembered, I have drawn the diagram, and then in that I have realized what are the two providers which I am looking at. I'm going to start with AWS provider. Okay, and in AWS provider I'm going to use the EC2 instances. So this is what I have written. Right? I'm focusing on this activity. Right? Write it down so that you will come to know what are the problems or what it is. నా ముఖం చూస్తే ఏమీ రాదు. పోనీ వస్తుంది అనుకుంటే 70 రోజులు ఏం మాట్లాడను, నన్ను చూస్తా కూర్చోండి. Just please make a note of what do you say, the approach which you are trying to follow. I like that Terraform uses Packer, doesn't use an API. Packer also uses an API, but it has some what do you say, for achieving its activity, it also does some of the stuff which we do normally from here. So there is, Packer does connection every time. Terraform doesn't do connection every time. Right? Yeah. Okay. Did you write it? Yes. So what was it? Okay. Why AWS provider? What was the reason for that? Why I have chosen AWS provider? Because we have realized the architecture is in AWS, 3 machines were in AWS, so I had to choose for a provider, and then I had to create EC2 machines. Right? So for creating a EC2 machine, the one thing which I could have done is I could have chosen some stuff which is existing. Okay, the only stuff which I have chosen existing as of now is basically one VPC I have chosen, all right, and a security group and a key. But if you want, you can create even that from Terraform. From Terraform you can create your own key, right? And basically you can create your own network also. But since most of the people here don't know that, I'm going with default settings. All right, and after that, what is that, we have to realize 2 app servers. For app server, what is that we need? We need a Ubuntu machine, and then we need to install Tomcat or whatever server on top of it. So I have to create a EC2 resource and do provisioning. Okay, but for doing provisioning, in the case of Terraform, we needed connection. So that's why I have written resource and then the connection and then provisioning. Now are we clear what is that we are trying to achieve? Yes. Tomorrow in your company, if they say that, can you write a Terraform script on EC2 machines for installing a Node.js server? Quality that cheppaleda? What is your solution for that now? What will change? Only provisioning will change. That's it. Right? Let it be any other installation. The only thing that is going to change is provisioning and probably the variables which you have put. They might choose a not T2 maker, they might choose M3 latch or whatever it is. So anyway, we have created variables for all of that. So I have to basically change the variables. That's it. All right. Okay. Now let me go over here. What is the first command? Are you seeing .terraform folder over here? No, that is required, otherwise Terraform will not work. So Terraform init. Okay, so the first stuff is done, and the next thing which we need to do is Terraform validate. Okay, I give dot. Will it work? Three variables we have not passed value. Yeah, we need to pass those values. So Terraform validate minus var. Let us see what are those variables. Access key is equals to, I've created an IAM user, and for that I've just taken an access key. All right, and then one more variable. Okay, the variable's name is secret key. I would prefer copy pasting from here because it will not be any mistake. Otherwise, if I try to write it on my own, probably I might misspell it. Secret key is equals to, where is notepad? Okay, and then I have one more file. Private key minus var private key path is equals to, I am in treater. So where is my private key from here? Key slash terraform.pem. So generally, whenever you are passing folder structures, right? Sometimes in Windows and Linux you might see variants. Yeah, you might see it. That's not a very huge error to worry about. You need to give Windows stuff. Now I'm trying to give something like Linux kind of a stuff. Okay, for some tools they accept, for some tools they don't. Right? So if they say that key is not found and the key is empty or whatever it is, that means that your path is wrong. So you have to enter the path in a different way. So all of this is done. What is that I've missed? What is the error? Terraform validate minus var still there is some mistake. Are you seeing any error? Yeah, we have got some extra characters. Yes. Yeah, now I think it looks good. No error. Good. Now what is the next thing? This is done. What is the next thing? Plan will tell us whether what would happen. Okay. So it says you are trying to add 3 resources, 2 EC2 machines and 1 security group. All right. Okay. So one more thing which I can do is I can do hyphen out and give the plan file. Okay. Okay. Now you can basically execute. There is no need for giving you all the arguments now. Just execute Terraform, apply 3-tier dot plan. Rather than passing the variables 2 times and all of that, you can execute this command. So if you want, if you like this approach, you can do that, or else you can go with the older approach where you say the Terraform apply and give all the variables again. Okay, let us try this. Anyway, it is new, right? And already it has given the command, so we can, the only thing which you have to do is just copy and paste. So it is creating a security group, and once it is done, it would try to create basically an instance. Key name has been identified correctly, Terraform, which means our path is right. Okay, so if your path is wrong, right, you will not see a key name there, because remember in our arguments we have not, did we given the key name or key path, right? Oh no man, this is not that. This is that will come into play where we are doing provisioning. Yeah, this is just the basic stuff. If this is successful, that means your connection is good. Is it saying connected? Is it executing the commands? Yes. Don't give full paths there. C drive, E drive, don't do all of that. That is all nonsense. All right. It is trying to execute Tomcat. Simple. Okay. Now here you can execute your chef scripts, your Ansible scripts in that provisioning. I have used shell. You can use whatever provisioning which you know. All right. Same thing will happen for the other machine. Things are looking good. Yes. Yeah. But one thing which I didn't like in this is I had I had to write that resource for EC2 creation twice. Yeah. Now let us wait for this to be up. Okay. In the meantime, no work with this services. It has created 2 machines. All right. It is provisioning the second one. If you use relative paths, it is always simple. Okay. Pardon me. Obviously, yeah. Infrastructure parallel create చేయమండి. Even though it is possible, you will never do that, because if something goes wrong, it is very difficult for you to track, because this you don't do every time. If you do it every time, we can go with parallel executions. Okay. Pardon me? That's it. I hyphen out, give some file name dot plan. అవును సేమే పెట్టాను. సేమే పెట్టాను కాబట్టి కనెక్షన్ సేమ్. డిఫరెంట్గా పెడితే డిఫరెంట్ కనెక్షన్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్. Generally, we'll have the same key for similar stuff. వేరే పెట్టం. For administration, all of your servers, you will have the same admin password, not different. Right. That's a convention, not a mandatory step. Yeah. Okay, man, it is taking its time. Let me look at questions. How does Terraform does no connection object execute without creating dependency? What is it? I didn't got your question. What is the dependency there? Where is that we are creating the connection? Within the resource or outside the resource? So then where is dependency coming in here? Dependency ఎప్పుడు వస్తుంది? రెండు different entities ఉన్నాయి. One has to be created after that. But now what is happening? A connection object is placed within the resource. So which means what you are trying to tell, once you create this resource, establish the connection, and then you have to do provisioning. So if you are writing outside the connection, outside the resource object, then this would have been a valid connection, valid question. Now it is not called as dependency. Now dependency is when two atomic units are dependent on each other. For example, like security group and EC2 machine. All right, that is dependency, not with respect to what we do with respect to connection. Right? Yeah. Is it necessary to give VPC ID? Aren't we giving default IP? What is the need for private? Man, I'm not getting into all of that. If do you know AWS networking? If your answer is yes, I think we should have got the answer why we give VPC ID. If the answer is no, please learn about it. I don't want to speak about it at this moment because it is a lengthy discussion. So my simple answer for that is the security groups which you are creating, okay, are linked to VPC. Okay, whenever you create a security group, you have to create for a specific network. So that's why we are passing the VPC ID. Okay, why is that? For that you need to know some AWS background. All right. Okay, so let me come back. Terraform init, Terraform validate, Terraform plan. All these commands come under shell script. What do you mean by shell script? I'm executing them in a PowerShell now. They are Terraform command line arguments. Right? They are command line arguments for Terraform. Terraform kunna CLI that you can execute from shell, that you can execute from PowerShell, that you can execute from command prompt, that you can execute on a Mac terminal anywhere, because those are not operating system instructions. Those are Terraform command lines. Right? Okay. How to specify to connect to a private IP in case of VPN connected? Ask this question in AWS when I am discussing networking. I'll be happy to answer. Okay. For now, it is out of syllabus. Right? Because it has no connection with whatever I'm trying to deal. I'm not discussing VPNs here. I'm discussing VPC. Right? Okay. Is it necessary to give VPCs? Yes, it is. I think I've answered that. Yeah. How do we know those system EC2 configuration details? Oh, is it? Who is this offline and still asking questions? Okay, please write your name so that it is easy for me to speak with you. Okay. What was the one? Do we have any argument called as instance type? Is it a required field or an optional field? It was optional. If you don't give, it will create M3 large. All right. So that's why what we have done, we have created T2 micro. So configuration details we are passing. Okay. Default public IP used to connect instances, not default public IP. The public IP address of your EC2 machine is used to log in into this machine. All right. Yeah. Any other questions in the room? Okay. Now, if things go good and if Tomcat is running on T2 micro, I'm not sure whether it has installed correctly running. I'm not worried about it. But if it goes correctly, it will show you this. Yes. Yeah. But T2 micro is a difficult journey for a Tomcat because Tomcat is a memory intensive stuff. If you try to put deploy any Java application which is huge in here, it will not work. Right? For example, if you try Jenkins over here, Jenkins has a war file. If you try to deploy it over here, it might or might not work because of the memory restrictions. So I'll stop it at that. So you got a web page, Tomcat is installed, looking good. But we have one more stuff to be achieved. What is it? Database. A database. Okay. So let us go back to our stuff. Tomcat, not Tomcat. Terraform. Okay. AWS provider. Now, so we have to create something called as AWS DB instance. To be very frank with you, I'll be blindly copy pasting this. Okay. I'll not even worry what the other things are. Okay. So I'm not even putting variables. You put whatever variables which you want to. Okay. I would call it as DB server. Okay. So that is the name of my resource. Allocated storage, some database details of it. Okay. And I've given some username and password to that MySQL server. Done. This will create you a MySQL server in Amazon RDS. Very simple. DB in the case of cloud storages are very simple. You don't need to install anything. You just need to configure them. Okay. So, but DB will be installed on a machine, right? So for that, you will have the same machine's instance power. If you are seeing over here, I'm using db.t2.micro, which means that it is a database machine, which is again T2 micro. So you can use all the large machines also over there. db.m3.large, db.m4.large. Get into this. That's it. This should solve your purpose. I am hard coding it, but I would expect you to parameterize this. నేనైతే హార్డ్ కోడ్ చేశాను, but if I have to do it correctly, what will I do? I will create a variables for whatever that are going to be changed, and I'll be putting them in the variables file. Okay. I'm not doing that only to save some time. All right. Good. Now let me go to the command line. I want to just look at the plan now. Okay. First, let me look at the plan. What does the plan say? And then I will be outputting that plan to one file, and then I'll be using it in Terraform apply. All right. So now it is querying the AWS with respect to whatever file which you have written, what is there and what has to be changed or what has to be added. Yeah. So the commands don't change whether you are updating or whether you are basically changing some stuff. Change the Terraform file and use plan. And if you see the plan tells that you have to, there is nothing has to be changed, nothing has to be deleted, but you have to add one thing. The addition of one thing is the DB resource which you have created just now, right? So now I'll do minus out. Okay. 3-tier dot plan dot. I'll be storing the plan file and then I'll be simply doing Terraform apply plan file. There is no need for me to pass these variables. Yeah. So directly copy the command from here. Plan is looking simple, right? Otherwise you have to build the arguments many times, right? That's it. Once this command is done, you have successfully created two EC2 machines and one database, which is MySQL. All right. Yeah. Now what is left? You have to create a Nginx on Azure. All right. So for that, what do you think is necessary now? We need one more provider. Okay. Like a IAM user, we need to basically create some stuff. Okay. So there is some sort of work which I want to give to you guys now, so that you do this for the people who have what do you say, for the people who have Azure accounts. Azure account లేదనుకోండి గొడవే లేదు. Try to create one more EC2 machine with provisioning, which is Nginx. Right. So for the people who don't have Azure accounts, you have to just create one more resource, which is another EC2 machine, where in the provisioning script I have used to install Tomcat, you write it to use install Nginx, or you can use the Terraform image, you can use the Packer image which you have already created using Packer if you have done that. So then there is no need for you to do provisioning also. Give the Packer images name, ID, and the stuff is done. So the choice is yours. Okay. So, but for the people who have Azure accounts, okay, Terraform Azure provider. Okay. Let me do one more step. Yeah. There is authenticating via Azure CLI. Okay. So for the people who have accounts, I want you to follow all of the steps. Basically here he will tell you what has to be done. Okay. You have to follow all this command line arguments. I'm not going to run through them in the class. I'll be basically using already the established connection IDs. Okay. So basically what he's doing is, for the people who know Azure, who don't know Azure, it's okay. In Azure, what we do AZ login, right? And we log in as a owner. But here what he's trying to do is he's trying to create one more user like IAM user. Okay. By using something called as Azure AD. Okay. In Azure AD, there is something called a service principal, and he creates that. Follow all of this. Okay. So you have to basically install Azure login. Okay. You will get this, and then you have to basically set the subscription ID, and subscription ID will be in your, where will you see subscription ID? Log in into the Azure account. Okay. Get into the my account settings section, and then you will be seeing subscriptions. Your subscription will have an ID. Okay. So that I can show it to you now. So portal.azure.com. Okay. Man. Let me recover it later. I don't want to waste that time. I'm not sure why it is suspended. Okay. So in the portal, you will see the settings button. Click on that settings. Okay. Or go into all services and click on subscriptions. Right. In the subscriptions, you will have a huge number, a unique ID which tells what is your subscription details. Right. So you have to just pass that. You have to just pass that. That's it. There is no need for you to basically do anything. Once you do that, you will get basically the full length details. Right. That will give you a tenant ID. That will give you a seek. That will give you a password, and that will give you a client ID. You have to just pass these three things. Okay. Fine. What I can do is I can in the tomorrow's class I'll show you the file what I have done, and the steps I'll give you a link. Follow that. But the link which I'm going to give is from this page itself. Okay. you can basically get into all of this documentation. This is what I will do, right? In Azure, you have to do all of this. So it tells how to create a service principal in Azure portal, but I would recommend creating it from CLI. Okay, creating it from CLI, whatever that makes sense to you. So once we have this, I'll be creating a Azure resource now, which is Azure virtual machine, and in that I'll be doing the provisioning, which is for installing Nginx. That's it. That's it. Nothing more than this, right? Okay. Account ఎందుకు suspend అయింది? Fine. How to establish connection between the objects created between Tomcat and database? That is your developer's connection string. Every web application, okay, to speak to a database will have something called as a connection string. That depends on how your application has been configured. Now if you look into basically the connectivity between Tomcat server and the RDS instance, they're already open. The thing is, you need to provide credentials and you need to basically establish the connection. For if you are using Java application, you will have web.xml file where you will provide that. In Node.js, you might have some other way. So that is your developer's headache. All right. So there is a concept called as connection string, and your developers use that to connect to databases. That's what I could say. And to the developers, you have to just give your service or RDS service endpoint name. Yeah. Okay. And now I have not configured the outputs. In this section, did I configure outputs? No. I want you to do that. Just see what is that you want to give it to the users as an output. Probably if I had to give an output, I would have given two machines, two Tomcat servers IP addresses and RDS's endpoint name. Okay. So these are the three things which I want to give as an output, and I'm quite sure everyone will be able to display output. How do you write output? Output name is equals to dollar, okay, and then resource type dot name dot. For every resource there will be some exported outputs. Use that. That we have covered already in the yesterday's class. Okay, fine. How many machines can we configure in Terraform? That means is there in Terraform doesn't have any limits. If there is a limit, your cloud service might have a limit. Okay, Terraform will speak with AWS or Azure. If that limit is allowed permissible in AWS, it will create. If not, it will not. So Terraform as such does not have any limits. Your cloud providers will have limit. All right. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Looking good so far? So one thing which we have to add to this is immediately we have to ensure that multiple people, if they try to work on the same thing, okay, it should not create multiple environments. That's the first thing. And the next thing is, I don't want to copy paste again. So for example, if I want one more Tomcat server, I don't want to copy paste. So I want some better way of looking at it. So what is that better way? Okay, and Azure is the least priority, but whatever it is. Okay, these two are more important than Azure provider. All right. So I'll be starting my class with that, and then at the end I'll be basically I'll have a script which I'll run through so that it creates a Azure Nginx machine. As simple as that. All right. Can we have multiple var files in a single directory? You can. You can have any number of files, right? Day one when I started Terraform, what was the topic which I said? In the Packer you give a single JSON file. In the Terraform you give directory, and Terraform will read all the files with .tf extension. All the files with .tf extension. So you can put multiple stuff. For example, in here you can say that aws.tf, azure.tf. So that in aws.tf you will have Azure related stuff, and aws.tf will have AWS related stuff. So there is no limit on where to put what. You can put anything anywhere. But the only restriction is the files extension has to be TF. Ante. That's the only restriction. Right? Okay. Yeah. Any other things in the classroom? Right. How many of you have finished Jenkins? From the Jenkins, you have a Terraform now. Okay, and you can create EC2 machines now using Terraform. Right? So from the Jenkins, call Terraform to create EC2 machines. That becomes your deployment. If you use from the Jenkins, for the people who have not finished, don't worry about it. We'll be learning that very soon. For the people who have finished Jenkins, from the Jenkins, call Terraform. Your environment is ready. And in that, do provisioning. Let it be Shell, Ansible, or Chef. So you are doing deployment or delivery, whatever it is. If you are doing it locally, we call it as delivery. And if you are doing it onto the production servers, we call it as deployment, right? So we generally don't do deployments. We stop till delivery. That's the scope of our class. We don't speak about deployments because deployments is, you need to know all of this and you need to know some more algorithms to do that. All right. So basically, Jenkins integrate with Terraform and Jenkins integrated with Packer. Okay. These two steps, add it and use and write them in your resume. Okay. Created Packer images from Jenkins builds. Okay. Created environments, dev, test, and whatever staging environments. Okay. From Jenkins using Terraform and Ansible or Chef, whatever that you are good at. If you are not good at both, write Shell. నాకు Ansible కానీ Terraform కానీ రెండు రాదనుకోండి, షెల్ షెఫ్ రాకపోతే, created dev or test environments from Jenkins as part of CI pipeline or CD pipeline, right? Using tools such as Jenkins, Terraform, okay, whatever provisioner which you are using, Shell provisioning or Chef provisioning. That's it. Companies are looking out for people who can do this, right? In your case, your Terraform file might be complicated, but the end point is companies are looking so that whenever developer they are building the environment, everything is automated. Right? So from the Jenkins, write one either downstream job. Right? Downstream job is a better way. Write a downstream job which calls Terraform. And to call Terraform, don't search for plugins, invoke shell and execute whatever you are writing out. Okay? Chala mandi execute shell. If you have a plugin, wonderful. If you don't have a plugin, there is no that there is nothing to be stopped or worried about, because we have execute shell and execute batch. Okay? And Terraform till now we are executing from command line. Yes or no? You have to do the same thing. Create a plan file, right? And basically execute that plan file. That's it. Okay? Any variables which you are passing, pass them using Jenkins parameters. Do we know how to create a Jenkins parameter? A variable in Jenkins. అసలు ఏమి తెలియనట్టు నేనేం మాట్లాడలేదు ఇవన్నీ. Did we speak about Jenkins parameters? Yes or no? Yes. కొత్తగా వచ్చిన వాళ్ళు ఎస్ అంటున్నారు. నాకు కొంత సంవత్సరంగా పరిచయం ఉన్న వాళ్ళు వెరైటీగా చూస్తున్నారు, ఇదేంటి కొత్త విషయాలు చెప్తున్నాడు. Man, so if you are not following whatever it is, if you don't do practice every day, it would be like Ram Gopal Verma's movie only he understands it. I don't want to become like that. All right? So from Terraform, you are from Jenkins, you'll be calling Terraform. You are setting variables here, right? So from Jenkins, who will set those variables? You will use Jenkins parameters. That's it. As simple as that. Okay? And while calling the build, if you remember, we have installed a plugin called as parameters, right? And you can call the downstream jobs with parameters. Done. That's it. All right? So this can only by doing these two steps, you can add one statement to your resume saying that I have done continuous delivery. Okay? Now you are from Jenkins, you are able to build the code, create the infrastructure in the cloud, and then deploy your applications. And deploying the application we do within the Terraform itself. There is no need for you to do call Ansible separately. In Terraform, use Ansible provisioning or Chef provisioning, whatever you are good at. Okay? So if you are not good at both, as I said, there is no problem. Still you can say that I have used shell provisioning. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఎలాగైతే టామ్ క్యాట్ ఇన్స్టలేషన్ కమాండ్స్ రాశానో మీరు కూడా షెల్ కమాండ్స్ ఎలా రాసుకున్నారని చెప్పండి, సరిపోతుంది. Okay? So companies are looking for Terraform, nothing more than this. They want to add Terraform and Packer to the CI or CD pipeline. That's it. Done. Okay? Only on this you have jobs. Only on this. Who are capable of explaining this and writing their own Terraform files and Packer files. Right? So tomorrow we'll be having an important discussion of two important concepts in Terraform, which is module and backend. Right? Once we finish that, we are good at Terraform. Na Terraform అయిపోతుంది, మీది అవ్వదు. Right? So my Terraform will be finished. I would be jumping into monitoring tools. But for you, that is not the same story. For you have to finish practicing the stuff. Okay? So ప్లీజ్ డూ ఫాలో బై డూయింగ్ ద థింగ్స్, నాట్ బై రెగ్యులర్లీ కమింగ్ టు క్లాసెస్. మీరు రోజు రాకపోయినా నాకు ఇబ్బందిలా, కాకపోతే ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయకపోతే అది ఇలాంటి నేను చెప్పానని డౌట్ నాకే వచ్చింది. రైట్, ఓకే, ఎస్. సో ప్లీజ్ యాడ్ దీస్ థింగ్స్ టు యువర్ రెజ్యూమే, right? They will help you in great deal because companies are looking out for that, and they are calling people like me who are not interested in changing jobs. Every day in LinkedIn I am getting at least 6 to 7. I'm planning to remove DevOps from my skill in LinkedIn, okay, because anyway I don't want to shift the company, and every day I get the calls on either the DevOps part or the blockchain part, and anyway for any cost I'm not going to switch my company, so I don't know why. Okay, so if you have those skills, you are getting calls. Okay, especially in LinkedIn. If I am getting that, in Naukri there are more. Okay, so in Naukri, how many positions are there for DevOps as of now? Open positions, any guesses? Search kuda chettala. Right, yesterday I've done basically, and including DevOps and AWS, there are 12,000 positions, right? And out of which, let us assume, let us remove 30%, not 30, 50%, let us remove, because it might have some different skills. You still have 6,000 jobs. Are we 6,000? If you practice, you should be good for any interview, right? Divide into basically 10% to know, to get to your experience. Okay, for 6,000 lo 10 చేసుకోండి, 600 positions, and I am 3 years experience. You will definitely have more than that. I'm just giving you a very what do you say, very pessimistic number, right? 600 jobs ఉన్నాయి, మీరు మహా అయితే 10 మంది ఉంటారు. Okay, if you go regularly, you will obviously be selected, right? So please focus on this. Okay, how many of people have started from this batch? Can you raise your hands? Right, so for you, wait till Docker is finished. Once Docker is finished, I would want you to post your resumes with Docker and Terraform. Done, that's it. Let us see what happens, but don't go to your dream companies. As I said, you will come to have a knowledge of the rest. Okay, but before going to the interviews, you go to the interviews only when you know about shell scripting and Agile. If you don't know it, don't go to interviews. All right, yeah. How to connect app server with web server in Terraform? That is called as configuration. And if you Murli, I'm not sure whether when you have joined, but if you have joined us during Ansible, we have done that in the classroom itself. We have done deploying Node.js app to production. Whenever we have spoken about it, in the Nginx file, there is sites available setting. There you will go and create a configuration, okay, which goes and speaks with your basic web servers. All right, that's how you do it. Okay, so in Nginx there are configuration files. Yeah, fine. Okay, for the people who know completely cloud, I'll not be using Nginx, I'll be using a load balancer there. If I am completely from cloud and I don't have I'm not having the other knowledge, then I will be using Elastic load balancer or Azure load balancer there. So I'll not be using the Nginx server. All right, yeah, thanks guys. So that's what I had, and tomorrow we'll be discussing on modules. Please don't come to classes if you have not practiced. నన్ను ఇబ్బంది పెట్టకండి, అలా వెరైటీ మోకాలు చూసి అదే నా తప్పులాగా. దట్ ఈస్ నాట్ మై బ్యాడ్, దట్ ఈస్ యువర్. ఓకే, ఇక నుండి క్వశ్చన్ మార్క్ ఫేస్లు పెట్టిన వాళ్ళు అడుగుదాం మనమే లేపి, ఎందుకు అలా పెట్టారు మోకం అని, టీవీ ఇంటర్వ్యూ లాగా. ఫైన్, థ్యాంక్స్.